A little while back, I made this, a floppy 5x5. It is considered floppy because it is exactly 1 layer tall. It uses a standard Rubik's Cube color scheme, and it turns pretty good if I do say so myself. But I have a few issues with it. One, it's pretty rattly. The other problem it has besides being rattly is that this can happen pretty easily. Yeah, these pieces come out just way too easily. That hook is way too small. So let's remake it, but first let's explain why it looks like this. Now to explain why it looks the way it does, we should start by looking at a regular 3x3. A regular 3x3 is considered proportional, and it is considered that because when you look at a face, it is divided into a perfect grid. Every square that you can look at is the exact same size. And this is possible because when you make a 45-degree turn, you look at it and none of the parts are overhanging. A proportional 2x2 and 3x3 and 4x4 and 5x5 are all possible to exist. And it's been debated that a proportional 6x6 may be possible, but after that, things get weird. Let's take a look at a 9x9. You may notice on many big cubes, the outermost layer is a lot thicker, and sometimes the entire cube is pillowed. The main reason for this is that if you're midway through a turn and it is completely proportional, this corner piece will completely overhang. There will be nothing attaching it to the puzzle. Now, there are exceptions. For example, I don't have any, but there's pretty cool looking cuboids, like a 3x3x7, or I think there's been a 2x2x7 or something along those lines. And these puzzles, they have parts that completely overhang. However, they do have a move that does not overhang them, so the pieces can have a mechanism that reaches all the way down into the cube. It is possible to make a large cube that doesn't have fat edges or pillowing, and this technique is called Olzing, or curvy cuts. Preston used curvy cuts for his world record 49x49. It basically just still allows for the corner pieces to have a way to attach into the mechanism. You'll notice that on extremely massive cubes, such as Matt's 34x34 or Tony Fisher's 100x100, the outer layer is extremely thick compared to all of the other pieces. The general rule is that if you want a certain cube to be cubic, aka not pillowed, the outer layer needs to be about 16% of the total edge length of the entire puzzle. If you want a more in-depth and probably easier to understand explanation, Matt Bonner explains it really well in the first 4 minutes of his Floppy Yodaminx video. Great video, by the way. Now, as you've probably figured out from the looks, a proportional floppy 5x5 is not possible. But a few years ago, you may have seen Tony Fisher's floppy 5x5, which is proportional. And he revealed in a future video that his floppy 5x5 was extended from a regular floppy cube that used magnets to attach the corner pieces and the outer wing pieces. And even a proportional regular floppy cube shouldn't be possible because there's a point of 0 thickness contact for the mechanism. But this floppy 5x5, for example, does use curvy cuts, and others take advantage of bending center caps. With all that out of the way, let's get to building this new one. Here's the old floppy 5x5, all rattly, and it turns good, but the tiles don't look that good after a while because when it was printing, the side that was facing up is now facing up here, when really I should have done it the other way because the side that's facing down while it's printing is always the smoothest and looks the best. And here's the new one. Looks a lot nicer in my opinion. Rattles none. Turning is a little stiff, but it does get better over time. There are some like print artifacts in some of the tiles, which I don't like a ton. In general, I love the way this looks. I've solved it a few times. It's super easy. Uh-oh. I think these two layers are super glued together and I don't know where. It's right here. There we go. But yeah, there's the finished puzzle. Super happy with it. I am selling these on Etsy. And now that I've said that in a video, I'm sure they'll be out of stock constantly. So if you can't find it, either wait, or it's been too long and I've stopped selling them. The second one is slightly smaller, and it's definitely a lot thinner, which I like a ton. And I also love the way that the tiles look compared to this one. There's a Floppy 5x5. More puzzles on the way. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.